back with I'm So Glad. Today we have a special guest with us, PV alum, class of 1991 and class of 2021, Dr. Sonja Freeman. Not only did she receive her MBA 30 years later, after completing that undergraduate, I'm impressed that you were able to graduate magna cum laude with a 3.75. My brain cells are dead after 30 years. So yes,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us today. I was reading through your biography here, and it is remarkable from pageants to producing off-Broadway, on-Broadway shows, Doctorate of Divinity, Toastmasters, the things that you're doing for Prairie View as well as the things you're doing for the Kingdom. So definitely you would deserve a round of applause for everything that you are doing. But I do want to focus on, I was reading here, and Divine Voices Media. Tell us a little more about that.
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me on the last show, squeezing me on. I'm so happy about that. And thank you for just having the show, because this is really remarkable. They didn't have any of this 30 years ago. So everything that I got in contact and a part of now is just amazing. Divine Voices Media is a multimedia production company and small business consulting firm. And I specifically work with creatives. I like working with influencers, models, actors, dancers, singers, and just trying to help them gauge their path towards success, and also understanding the importance of knowing business.
Nice. How do you see, because one of the things when I see voices, I see media, just the importance of how Blacks are portrayed in the media. Okay, so how is your company helping to show us in a better light, if you will?
Well, I make it a point to sit down with each client and talk about their image and their brand, and really understand the importance of what is it that they want to portray, what are they into, what are they a part of, who they're surrounded with, because all that affects what people think of them. So if we don't have that conversation, then it can be all just hell breaking loose when they're out and about and doing things for their business. So the most important thing you can do is sit down with someone and say, listen, what do you want to project? What is the image that you want people to know? Whenever they think of you, what do you want that 1 or 2 or 3 words that should come to mind? And when you have that conversation, they're like, oh, I never really thought of that. That's like, yeah, because people are watching. They're watching you. They're watching you on social media. They're watching you in public. They're watching you whenever you're out and about. People are watching you, and they're watching your every move. And they may not think that's true, but it really, really is.
Yeah. And making sure that your website, none of your links are broken. That is like my pet peeve.
Hey, I resemble that comment.
Or just even also knowing that, like I'm starting to notice a lot of, Black-owned businesses, they don't take the time anymore to do a website, and everything is just Instagram or Facebook. And
yeah, it really depends on the demographic. Young people, truth be told, are not looking at websites. Older people, yeah. They're looking to see if you're established, if you've been doing this for a while, if you're an expert at what you do. But young people, do you got Instagram? Do you got Facebook? Do you got a Twitter? So they're quickly trying, can I follow you? You follow me? So, that's what it is for them. But those of us who are over 40,
yes,
we're like, okay, do you have a website? Is it up? Can I click on it? Would the link work? Do you have anything that's actually on there I can see that's recent?
Yes, definitely. And see, that's why you're the expert, because I'm telling you, for me, if you don't have a website, you don't get my business. I don't care if I'm looking for a landscapers right now. I want to see before, after photos.
The yard man gotta have a website.
He does. Yeah, he does.
That's kind of, you're a stickler right there. I think for the yard man, usually is by recommendations. If John use it and Jeff use it and DeMarcus use him, then yeah, he's good. I don't know about the website or whatever, but you know, it really depends on you and who you connect with. But certain careers, certain industries, you expect a website. You expect a website in business. You expect a website when you're doing fashion. You expect a website when you're an actor, because you need to click on and see the reels. You need to see, you know, where they work, if they've done theater, if they've done television, if they just started. So if you don't have anything to show that you act, well, how am I going to hire you?
Right. Right. I believe, Mike, you have a question?
Yeah, Sonja, so question. Let me go back to the Phyllis Hyman woman.
Yes.
What was the inspiration behind that, part one? And part two, what made you decide, what was the process for being the only approved version of that? Because I still remember Phyllis Hyman in school days, 1988. So can you talk us through that a little bit?
Yes, well, interesting enough, I got a cassette tape when I was at Prairie View around 1988, as a matter of fact, living all alone. And I knew back then that I wanted to do something with her music, but I didn't know what. And so just years went by, and my mind was just always, I want to do something, but I don't know what. But it wasn't until 2005 that I said, you know what, I need to figure out how to do something, because there wasn't anything at the time where they were actually, you know, honoring her music, her musical legacy, and what she contributed to R&B, soul, Broadway, jazz, you know, that kind of thing. So it took really 10 years for me to get it together. And when I moved to New York, and I finally, what I did was I reached out to her people. That's what I did. I reached out to her musicians, her costume designer, makeup artist, everybody and anybody who was associated with her. I asked them about her, and I asked if they would be a part of my project, but they all said no. But they gave me valuable information about what I needed to just get you know, because I'm a person that, my name means wisdom. Sonja means wisdom. And I'm the kind of person that I must research and have a full understanding of what I'm doing before I do it. So I was able to sit down and talk with each of them and tell them my idea. And they loved it. They said, but no, but I don't want to be a part of that. But we love what you're doing, so we'll support whatever you're doing whenever you're ready to do it. And that's how it slowly became supported by family and friends, because I reached out to them. I really wanted to know the backstory of her songs. I wanted to know the backstory of her performing and the different things that she went through. And that's when I found out she had bipolar disorder. And so that became a cause for me in finding about mental health awareness and suicide prevention. And May being, you know, Mental Health Awareness Month, every May I would do things that was in conjunction with mental health awareness and performing Phyllis Hyman songs. So as I kept doing it, it started growing, and people's like, well, you know, Queen, my stage name is Queen Diva. So they would say, well, you know, Queen is doing a Phyllis Hyman tribute, and she always does something in May or in September, which is Suicide Prevention Month. So it started to grow and grow and grow until I finally got one of the members of the family to attend a show. And after she came to the show, her name was Farley, Vanessa Farley. She's the second cousin of Phyllis. Her mom is her first cousin. And she said, I absolutely love what you're doing. We fully support what you're doing. Please keep doing what you're doing. You're making a difference. You're blessing people. You are keeping her musical legacy alive, and we want you to keep doing what you're doing. So that's how it started, with the support, and then it just grew from there. So, and as a matter of fact, I want to do a tribute album. No one has ever done a tribute album for her. Wow. I want to do a tribute album and a documentary. And so I'm on a mission now. Every time I get on a podcast, a TV show, whatever, if I got a microphone in my hands and listen, I want to do a Phyllis Hyman tribute album and a documentary to document the entire process. And I want to release it on July 6, 2024, which would have been her 75th birthday.
Very nice.
Wow, tremendous walk. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. She, I know a lot of people. I too, Mike, I remember this big statuette in school days, that hat, that was really my first introduction. But then, of course, going back listening, You Know How to Love Me is my favorite song by her. But also, I think that Unsung, they did. I think between School Days, Unsung, and in your project, that may be our people's only introduction to Phyllis.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do play her on the radio, but usually it's like as a mix, a quick mix, and mostly they just play You Know How to Love Me because it's up tempo. But that's really the scope of her songs that you really hear on the radio if you're not a diehard fan. So you're absolutely right. There are some, throughout the country, some people are doing like a musical, some people are doing like a dinner show, but there's nothing that is like a specific tribute to her that really will help build her musical legacy. So that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Definitely. I definitely love it. So is there any way that we could see the show?
Well, actually, it's on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, Queen Diva TX, the very first sold out show that I did, it's on there. It's the one that I did on May 23rd, 2018. Okay. So you can go in there and see the entire hour show. That was my very first sold out show. And we've grown tremendously from there because we added more songs and added more things. But you can see the entire tribute on YouTube, and it's Queen Diva Texas. You can find me and you'll find the show.
Nice.
Hi, Sonja. I want to take a step back to a statement you made earlier about sitting your clients down and speaking to them about their image. And, one of our primary focuses is obviously Prairie View athletics and their student athletes. Coach Prime over at Jackson State has made it a point to sit his students down with a professional, I don't know if it's talking coach or imagery coach, but he's taught them how to project themselves properly or present themselves properly when in interviews and interview settings on a microphone when they're speaking to the media. Have you thought about any potentially partnering with Prairie View and their athletic student athletes as we try to expand the profiles of our student athletes, potentially working with them to help them present themselves in a good light when they're speaking to the media and things of that nature?
Well, I would absolutely love to do that. I'm surprised that it's not happening already. I thought that was part of, well, I shouldn't assume anything, but it really should be included. And I understand why Deion Sanders does it, because he was a professional athlete and he had to do interviews and have endorsement deals and different things like that. So he had to learn over time when he was in the profession. And so people don't take the time to actually teach young people how to speak in an interview, how to speak when they're in public, how to, sit at a table and actually negotiate an endorsement deal. So yes, it's definitely needed. I'm definitely available. Divine Voices Media, 832-412-7678.
Let's go.
There it is. PV Resources ready to help.
She said, don't get ready, be ready, baby.
Okay, I'm ready. Come on now. DivineVoicesMedia.com. And I do have a website, so you can check it out.
She said, and the links work.
Exactly.
I will forward it to the assistant athletic director and let him know that we need to consider it.
Absolutely.
Sonja, one last question before we let you go. Now, with we talking about branding, and please omit names for the purpose of keeping their anonymity. But what would you say was probably one of the worst clients you've taken on? What was their position, and how did you fix them?
And I don't even have to say names because y'all don't know who they are. The people that I work with
this group.
I think the worst thing that comes across my to my attention is that they think they know it all and they think what they're doing is right. I'm like, but if that's the case, then why are you hiring me? Why are you hiring me? If you think you know it all and you're doing it right, but you have no customers, you're not making any bookings, you're not on TV, you're not on the radio, your book is not selling. So like, why are you hiring me if nothing that you want to do is happening? And that was something I come across a lot, even in just consulting, because I do 1 hour consulting. And, you know, and that's just 1 hour. And in that consulting, not only am I finding out what they want, but I'm finding out if I want to work with them moving forward. So I can listen to what it is that they're talking about, what their needs are, what, you know, their work ethic. You could tell by the conversation in just 1 hour if that's something you want to continue on doing. And I found that a lot of them think they know it all already. And you have to be teachable. You have to be teachable. If you're not teachable, you will not win. And you know that in any sport, any sport. If you're not teachable, if you're not coachable, you will not win. And that is the issue that I found in every client. With that, they know it all. And they're not opening to let down their guard and admit, you know what, I'm wrong. You know what, I don't know. That's why I'm hiring you. Tell me what I need to do. And a lot of times too, another thing too, they push pull. They want to do a little bit, then they want to push you. They want to do a little, they want us to listen. You hired me to tell you how you could be successful. Why are you push pulling me? And I'm trying to give you the most soundest advice you could use to be successful. So those two things I have encountered many times, and I've been doing this a good 20 years. That is either they know it all or they're push pulling you along and they won't let you help them. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world. And so I just, okay, well, thank you for your time. And I think you need to find another consultant.
Humility and teachability.
There you go. There you go.
There
Well,
you go.
Dr. Sonja, we definitely thank you for joining us today. Joe, if you could go ahead and get on that with that assistant athletic director, get our boys and girls some help.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. So again, thank you so much for being on our show, and we look forward to seeing your success, especially with this Phyllis Hyman project.
Oh, yes.
All
One
right.
last thing. I just like to say one last thing before we leave. I'm wearing, it's called Rebop. It is Women in Business Online Pageant. And I am presently the Ms. Rebop 2020 and Ms. Rebop Ms. Rebop Photogenic 2020.
Nice.
I'm competing in the Ultimate Queen Women Business Leaders and Entrepreneur Pageant in June. And I would like everyone to know that. And if you'd like to sponsor me, please come and call me at 832-412-7678 or divinevoicesmedia.com, SEF@divinevoicesmedia.com.
Got it. Well, good luck with that pageant. Got it. We'll
Thank
make
you
sure
so very
to
much.
include that. So again, thank you again.